There is a commonly held belief in the United States about the best path to a college education. Many Americans would say this path involves graduating from high school at age 17 or 18, then going off to university to live and study for just 4 years, and, at the end of that term, receiving a degree. But that is not as usual a path as people might think. US Department of Education research suggests that the majority of undergraduate college students take a less traditional approach. Carrie Dwyer is an example. She graduated from high school in 2005 and began studying physical therapy at Temple University in Philadelphia. But after her first year, she decided she wanted to study nursing instead. Dwyer moved back home and began seeking an associate's degree at Montgomery College in Tacoma Park, Maryland in 2006. However, medical issues forced her to take time off school. She started working full-time and going to school part-time. Dwyer faced several difficulties, but she says nothing was as hard as returning to school after she took the time off. In 2010, Dwyer completed her associate's degree, also called a 2-year degree. She was 24. Then she joined the Army. Using the money she earned, Dwyer completed a bachelor's degree at Fayetteville State University in North Carolina in 2015. Now married with 3 children, she says she does not mind that it took her almost 10 years to complete her education. In the end, she says she only put in all the effort because she wanted to.
Ultimately, all that matters is that I got my degree done. I didn't get it for anyone else. I did it for me specifically to follow my goals and my aspirations.
Strayer University is a for-profit college with centers all over the country. Earlier this year, Strayer worked with the media company US News and World Report to create the 2016 College Experience Survey. The researchers gathered information from 1,000 U.S. undergraduate students. The study findings showed that 70% of the students questioned were non-traditional. But what does non-traditional mean? The Strayer report identifies non-traditional college students in several ways. A student who passes general educational development tests instead of earning a high school diploma is considered non-traditional. So is a student who works more than 35 hours a week or studies part-time while seeking a bachelor's degree. And a student who was 25 years or older when they last took classes or when they graduated is also considered non-traditional. Information from the U.S. Department of Education suggests the non-traditional student population may be growing. In 2013, the department reported 29% of undergraduates were between 18 and 24 years old, studying full-time in 4-year degree programs. Carl McDonnell is the Chief Executive Officer of Strayer Education, the company that owns Strayer University. McDonald says there are so many non-traditional students now because many see education as the best way to reach new opportunities. But, he adds, non-traditional students also have much different needs.
Over the last 5 to 10 years, we've had a more challenging labor market. So as people try to find well-paying jobs and or move up in their organization, a college degree is becoming more and more important. You might even say essential. And the types of programs that higher education needs to pursue, they tend to be things that are flexible in nature.
McDonald notes that most of the students at Strayer University are non-traditional. They are often older people with years of work experience and families to raise. This means they need to be able to attend classes during the times that they are not working or caring for others, he says. McDonald argues that most schools are much more concerned with their traditional students. Online courses, like the ones Strayer offers, are increasingly useful for non-traditional students, he says. But others suggest there is more schools need to do for non-traditional students than just offering classes over the internet. Eva Yuma is in the final year of her bachelor's degree program at the University of Maryland. She also took a long path to get where she is now. Yuma took a year off from studies after graduating from high school. She then started seeking a degree in art history at the University of Edinburgh in Scotland in 2009. More than 2 years later, she found she was unhappy and moved back to the U.S. In 2013, she returned to school and became a film major. Yuma says the most difficult part about going back to school was deciding to take on more debt to pay for her continuing education. But she also says her relationship to her school changed. For example, she says she does not seek new friends the way she did during her first few years of higher education. Yuma says she feels more professional than the traditional students. She believes she is less afraid to speak her mind. But Yuma argues UMD could do more to build connections between the non-traditional students. That way, they could share their networks and experience.
There isn't very much community for those students. I guess they assume that you already have an established community. You don't need the undergrad experience like the other kids do.
Yancey Gully is an assistant professor for the Higher Education Student Affairs program at Western Carolina University. He has 15 years of experience as a college administrator. The educator says schools need to stop using the term non-traditional. He worries that the term could harm students. It may make some feel that their schools consider them less intelligent or less hardworking.
It really does say to them, you are an exception. You shouldn't belong here. You're probably not going to be successful, but we're going to let you give it a good old try. Good luck to you. And that's really demonizing if students walk around our campuses every day and take our classes.
Gully notes there are programs in place that are designed to support non-traditional students. For example, Fayetteville State University offers a program that opens a faster path to a nursing degree for people who already have nursing experience. The University of Maryland also works with a foundation to provide financial assistance to older students. But Yancey Gully says some schools may not realize they are failing to provide equal support to their students. The U.S. higher education system was designed for traditional students. Gully says schools must make sure all their students can access all the same supports and services. I'm Pete Musto.